the raging bull from Sant'Agata, and the prancing horse from Maranello. What if I told you the greatest supercar rivalry didn't start on a racetrack, but from an insult that changed automotive history forever? Today, we're breaking down Lamborghini versus Ferrari, the bull versus the horse, and we're going to find out which is actually the better supercar. So stick around because this story is crazier than you think. But first, a question for you. Which one do you personally prefer, the bull or the horse? Or is there another supercar brand that deserves a spot in this battle? Comment below, I'm reading every reply. Now, to understand this rivalry, we need to go back to where it all began, with an insult that changed everything. Back in the 1960s, Ferruccio Lamborghini wasn't building supercars, he was building tractors, and very successful ones. But Ferruccio had a hobby, collecting fast cars, and among his collection was a Ferrari, a beautiful machine, but one that kept breaking down. The clutch kept failing, the car felt unstable, so Ferruccio, being an engineer, opened it up and realized Ferrari was using the same clutch he used in his tractors. So he drove straight to Maranello, walked into Enzo Ferrari's office, and told him his cars could be better. And what did Enzo say? Lamborghini, you may be able to build tractors, but you will never be able to handle a Ferrari. That was it. That was the moment the bull woke up. That single insult lit a fire Ferruccio would never forget. He went home, gathered his best engineers, and said one sentence that changed automotive history. Fine, I will build my own car, a better car. From that day forward, it wasn't just engineering, it wasn't just ego, it became a war. To understand why this rivalry became so iconic, we need to look at the symbols behind each brand. Because the bull and the horse aren't just logos, they tell you everything about how these two supercar legends think. Lamborghini's identity begins with Ferruccio himself. Born under the zodiac sign Taurus, he always saw the bull as a reflection of who he was: strong, stubborn, and unafraid to challenge anyone. That's why the raging bull became Lamborghini's emblem. It represents raw power, dominance, and the kind of car that doesn't whisper for attention, it demands it. And you can see that philosophy in every Lamborghini ever built. The sharp, angular lines, the aggressive stance, the engines that roar louder than anything on the street. Lamborghinis aren't just cars, they're statements. They're built to overwhelm your senses. Ferrari, meanwhile, tells a completely different story. The prancing horse was originally the emblem of Francesco Baracca, Italy's most famous World War I fighter pilot. When Enzo Ferrari was given permission to use the symbol, he chose it because it represented elegance, precision, and the spirit of victory. Ferrari cars move differently. They feel lighter, more controlled, and engineered with a kind of finesse that comes from decades of racing experience. While Lamborghini wants to shock you, Ferrari wants to impress you with effortless performance and Italian craftsmanship that feels almost artistic. From the very beginning, these two brands weren't just competing with machines, they were competing with philosophies. Lamborghini builds emotion, drama, and dominance into every car. Ferrari builds precision, racing DNA, and refined speed. One charges forward with brute force, the other dances with perfect control. And that's why, even after 60 years, the bull and the horse still remain the greatest symbols of automotive rivalry. Now that we understand why the bull and the horse think so differently, it's time to see how those philosophies translate into the real world. Because at the end of the day, a supercar isn't judged by its logo or its legend. It's judged by how it feels on the road, how it performs under pressure, and what it delivers for the people who actually drive them. So let's put these two giants head to head and break down the 5 categories that truly matter. This is where the rivalry gets real and where we finally find out who actually comes out on top. Before we dive into the first category, I want to hear from you. What matters most in a supercar to you? Power? Handling? The sound? Drop your answer in the comments. Alright, now let's break down and see who really comes up on top. Let's start with their driving experience. When you drive a Lamborghini, the first thing you feel is drama. The engine roars, the cabin shakes, and the whole car feels like it's trying to break free from the road. It's loud, aggressive, and designed to hit you with pure adrenaline. A Lambo doesn't just move, it attacks. Ferrari is the complete opposite. The moment you turn the wheel, everything feels smoother, sharper, and more precise. The car responds instantly. It's controlled, balanced, and engineered with real racing DNA. A Ferrari doesn't try to overwhelm you. It tries to perfect your drive. So the question is, which one actually feels better? If you want chaos and excitement, it's Lamborghini. But if you want the better driving experience, Ferrari is one that truly performs. Next, let us talk about their price and practicality. When it comes to price and practicality, the story takes another turn. Ferraris are usually more expensive to buy, and even more expensive to maintain. The servicing, the parts, the waiting lists, everything comes with a price tag that reflects the brand's exclusivity and racing heritage. Lamborghinis, on the other hand, while still incredibly expensive, are often slightly more practical in the real world. Their maintenance costs can be lower, their repair process is sometimes simpler, and ownership tends to be a bit more predictable. Neither of these cars is practical in a normal sense, but if we're comparing the two, the one that gives you a little more value for what you pay is Lamborghini. Now, let's talk about their resale value and long-term worth. When it comes to holding value, Ferrari has a clear advantage. Ferraris are built in smaller numbers, demand is stronger, and many models appreciate over time, especially limited editions. Even standard Ferraris tend to keep their value better because collectors trust the brand's racing heritage and long-term prestige. Lamborghinis, while still valuable, usually depreciate faster. Their designs are bold, but the market for used Lambos can be less predictable, and most models don't climb in value the same way Ferraris do. So if you're thinking long-term investment or simply don't want your supercar's value to drop too quickly, the answer is straightforward: Ferrari. Next, let's talk about which is better on track. On the track, Ferrari has the clear upper hand. Their entire brand is built on racing, Formula One technology, decades of competition, and engineering that's optimized for precision at high speed. When you push a Ferrari on a circuit, it feels natural, balanced, and ready to win. Lamborghini, on the other hand, wasn't designed with track dominance as its main goal. Lambos are heavier, more dramatic, and tuned for excitement on the street rather than shaving milliseconds off a lap time. They can perform, but Ferrari performs better where it counts, in corners, braking, and high-speed control. On the racetrack, where precision and engineering come together, Ferrari is on a whole different level. Lastly, let's see who is better on the street. On the street, the story flips completely. A Lamborghini is built to turn heads the moment it appears. The sharp lines, the low stance, the explosive engine sound. It has a presence you can't ignore. Driving a Lambo feels like an event. People look, cameras come out, it's pure theater. Ferrari, meanwhile, is more refined. It's smooth, elegant, and beautifully balanced, but it doesn't create the same shock factor when you roll up to a traffic light. Ferraris feel like precision machines. Lamborghinis feel like monsters ready to pounce. And if we're talking about the street, where emotion, drama, and presence matter more than lap times, the Bull Lamborghini absolutely dominates. Now, when you add everything up, Ferrari wins our comparison by a narrow 3-2. On paper, they deliver the sharper driving experience, the stronger track performance, and the better long-term value. Ferrari is the brand for precision, racing DNA, and the kind of engineering that turns speed into an art form. But here's the twist. That doesn't make Lamborghini the loser, because what Lamborghini offers, Ferrari can't replace. The presence, the drama, the emotion. When a Lamborghini appears on the street, the entire atmosphere changes. It's loud, fearless, aggressive, and unforgettable. That's something numbers can't measure. So which supercar is actually the best? The truth is simple. If you want perfection on the road or the track, go Ferrari. If you want excitement, personality, and pure emotion, go Lamborghini. Different strengths, different souls. And that's exactly why this rivalry will never die. The bull and the horse were never meant to beat each other. They were meant to push each other and push the world of supercars forward. All right, now it's your turn. Are you Team Bull or Team Horse? And more importantly, why? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm reading every single one of it. If you want more cars battles like this, make sure to subscribe to Best Version. And if you're not going anywhere, click here to watch the next video. Trust me, you're going to love it.